Well, hello, replay viewers. It's Chris Strub, the Giving Day guy here. We're going to get the meeting started in just a second. A lot of the participants are here in the Zoom waiting room, which is cool. So we're just starting the recording here a moment early. We will be leaving a lot of time for questions here at the end of this session, but if you do have additional questions at the end of this, when you're watching on replay, you can feel free to either email me, chrisstrub@gmail.com, or you can find me on social media. Would be a great way to connect with me if you have additional questions, or if you just want to say hello. I'm at Chris Strub on Twitter and Instagram, and that's a fantastic way to get in touch with me as well. So we're going to start the meeting here shortly. I'm going to press the magic button and suddenly you're going to see all my friends come in the room here. We'll of course be joined by Tammy from PCF Virginia and Nick from Switcher Studio, which is actually sponsoring the live stream efforts for Give Local 757. So bringing in Tammy here first, and then we'll let in all the nonprofits here in a second. So we'll get Tammy to turn her camera on, hopefully. Let me turn her audio on. Hello, Tammy, can you hear me?
Hi, Chris, I sure can. Can you hear me?
I can. You want to turn your camera on, say hello, or are you going to be off camera?
No, I'll turn it on. There you go.
Okay, cool. So I started the recording already. So when we send out the recording to the nonprofits, we'll say hello to all of the replay viewers. It's a fun thing to do on a live stream. And there's 30 people in the waiting room. So I'm going to hit the button, and as soon as I do that, everyone will appear. So I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, great.
How does the hat look, by the way? Look good?
Oh, awesome.
Right? Looks good. I got the step and repeat here too. So yeah, and
Very good. There might be some confusion about, a question about what's a live stream versus a live broadcast. So if that comes up, I'll be happy to answer it.
Yeah, and I'll probably talk. I just did this meeting at 10 a.m. So I'll probably talk for about 12 minutes or so, and then we'll have plenty of time to answer all the questions that the nonprofits have.
Awesome.
So I'm going to click admit, and our screen's going to look a lot different here in about 2 seconds. Here we go.
All right.
I told you, Tammy, it's quite a powerful button. I feel like I can bring the whole city to our Zoom room at the same time. This is fun. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
As you guys are joining, feel free to turn your camera on and stuff too. I mean, this is a fun little environment. I'm getting an echo on somebody. So I'm going to end up.
I think everybody needs to mute.
We'll see. Oh, there's a mute all button. See, I don't do a ton of Zoom meetings, so I can mute everybody at the same time, which is kind of fun. I'm just looking for Nick. I don't see Nick here, but Nick should be joining us as well. That echo went away. So whoever muted yourself, good job. We're just going to give everybody another 15 seconds to join in. So thanks everybody for being here. And maybe Tammy, if you want to sort of talk first, and I'll take it from there.
Oh, sure. Well, welcome to the orientation for our live streaming broadcast. So happy that so many of you signed up to be interviewed that day. Right now, it'll be live streaming on Facebook, but we're really working behind the scenes to make sure that it's on our website too, so as many people can see it as possible. And just a really quick about the live streaming versus the live broadcast. The live broadcast is what will happen the day of on Channel 13. this is what will happen on social media with all of you that are attending right now being interviewed, along with some other things that we'll have in there as well.
Awesome. Yeah, and Tammy, thanks so much for letting me, easy for me to say, be a part of this. My name is Chris Strub. I work as the Giving Day guy. So I work with Giving Days around the United States. I actually just had another orientation call like this a few minutes ago. As you guys may know, beginning of May is really prime Giving Day season around the United States. So I'm actually working with a number of Giving Days this spring, and then we'll have some more Giving Days coming up this fall. And I've been producing live streamed videos with nonprofits around the US, I guess with Giving Day since 2017, and then for even a few years before that, before the whole Giving Day guy concept. So this will be the first year that Give Local 757 is really diving into the live streaming space. So I'm really thrilled to be joined by each and every one of you guys. As we've said in each and every communication to this point, these live streams are all completely designed to amplify and really bring additional attention and energy to the great work that you guys are doing, not just on May 11th, but all year round. And so the strategy behind planning something like this is to really demonstrate and show the community and really show the country really the collective power and the energy of all of the great work that you guys are doing. So our live stream strategy is designed to supplement all of the awesome work that you guys are doing, of course, with your nonprofits and then on social media on and in the lead up to the Giving Day. I do see that my friend Nick joined. So if you see my t-shirt here, this is the logo for Switcher Studio. Switcher Studio is going to be the live stream sponsor for 2021. And Nick works with Switcher Studio, which I will get in and explain here shortly. So Nick, are you there? Nick,
yes, I'm here. Yep.
Nick, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, can you just take a minute and sort of explain to the group what Switcher Studio is and how Switcher Studio is getting involved with Give Local 757?
Absolutely. So in a nutshell, Switcher Studio is an app that allows creators of all types of content to live stream or also to like pre-record video and go back and edit it later. But really, you know, what we pride ourselves on and what we strive for is the ability for, you know, anyone to be able to really take Switcher, grab hold of it pretty quickly, and then use it to really get their message out, to elevate what they're doing, whatever that might be, for whatever, you know, positive thing they're trying to make happen in the world. And so that's really what attracted us to, we've known Chris for a while and Chris is amazing. But what really attracted us to getting more involved with some of the work Chris does, you know, as a sponsor and things like that is just how much good comes from these Giving Days. And honestly, it's pretty simple. You know, it might sound cliche, but we truly are about, you know, using video content for good at Switcher. That's a huge part of why we love what we do and why I love what I do, is seeing how video can really bring people together, engage people, and be a really positive force in a lot of different ways. And so that's, you know, that's really what we're here for, and why I'm so excited to be working with Chris and to be involved with all of you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Nick. It's an honor to be working with Switcher Studio. And, you know, it's really great to see the collective enthusiasm of all of these nonprofits that really agree that having a strong video presence on social media is important to getting your message out there. And so that's what we're going to do on May 11th. So yesterday, you all should have received an email from me with our live stream schedule for May 11th. We'll be streaming all day long from 7 a.m. Until 8 p.m. I did sneak in a a quick little lunch break there for myself, Tammy, so I can grab something in the middle of the day. But essentially what we'll be doing is bringing on groups of 4 nonprofits at a time on the hour from 7 a.m. through 8 p.m. So everyone, if I could just get like a nod, as I can see most of you guys know your time slot and everything, great. So at that time, so if you're slotted to come on at say 10 a.m., I'm going to ask you to join what I call the Switcher Studio Green Room, not the official name for it, but that's what I call it, 5 minutes before the start of the hour. It's very important that you join that room 5 minutes before the start of the hour so that I know that you're there. I know that your audio is working and that your video is working and that we have everything in place to get the stream started right at the top of each hour. The big question, of course, on the stream is going to be the process of actually joining. So what I'm going to actually do here, I can join the room here myself, but I'm actually going to text my link to Nick. So let's see if Nick Walker is here in my phone. I'm going to text my Switcher Studio link to him. And I'm going to click on it.
Chris, you might also want to throw that in an email. I don't know. Yeah, my phone's kind of acting funky right now.
Throw it in an email to Nick as well.
That would be great. Yep.
So as simple as that. Room. Okay. So Nick has my link now. Each and every one of you guys are going to receive an email from me about 2 to 3 days before Give Local 757 with this link. So you may be curious and you may be wondering like, oh, how can I get in? How can I test it? How can I test it? The reason that I do not send everybody the link today is because it's actually the same link that I'm going to be using for several other giving days in advance. And so it's an active live environment. You will have plenty of time before the giving day to get in and test it. But one thing that I will assure you is that it's actually, I would say, even easier to join the Switcher Studio room than it is to join the Zoom room that we're in here today. So it's the same exact process. So I'm going to click on the link here myself. And what you're going to see, and this is the same thing that Nick is going to see on whichever device he's trying to join on. It says Switcher Studio, and then it says, would like to access the microphone. And I'm going to click allow. And then it's going to come up and say, would like to access the camera. And I'm also going to click allow. If you are struggling on the day, if you can't get your phone to connect or you can't get your device to connect, that's probably what happened, was you did not authorize your browser to give it. Oh, I just took a picture with my camera. That was cute. You have to make sure that you authorize your audio and your video to your browser window, whether you're joining from your phone, your tablet, or your computer. You're going to type in your name where it says your name. So I'm going to type in Chris Strub. Right underneath where it says your name, there's a little toggle switch that says remote camera mode. And it is important that you do not click remote camera mode on. We want to just leave that the way it is. And then all you're going to do is press join room. And when you do that, you're likely to see something that says waiting for others to join. However, because I sent my link to Nick, now what I'm seeing here is my video and Nick's video. Nick, you want to wave? There he is. So when I send you the link, what I encourage you to do, what I actually encourage you to do is have someone else from either your family or your organization or connect with another nonprofit, and you guys can actually join the room simultaneously, and you can see how easy it is to communicate with one another within the green room itself. So we can have up to 9 devices connected at the same time using Switcher Studio. I can actually demonstrate this here real quick. I'm going to show you here. I go to show you my iPad. So just take 1 second. bear with me for a moment, of course. It always works when you test it, and then it never works when you are not testing it. So you guys should be able to see my iPad screen now when I go to use a switcher. I'm only going to show this to you very quickly so you guys can see the interface as well. How simple it is to use Switcher Studio, but when I click yellow switcher, that's that phone. And this is the interface that will allow me to change cameras from one to another. And then when I'm in the guest room, I can actually bring up Nick's. So there's Nick in Switcher Studio. There's Chris in Switcher Studio. And what we're going to see a lot of with Give Local 757 is something like this, where it'll be me talking to you on the other side of the screen. And you can see how I'm able to switch my own cameras. Probably don't want to use that camera, but I can use this one as well. And you can see how simple it is for me to use multiple cameras. Put people's names on the screen. Oops, well, that's not my name. That's my name. And that's just a super quick look at the power of Switcher Studio in about 30 seconds. So that's the reason why we use Switcher Studio as a platform, is I'm going to be able to put your name on the screen. We'll be able to play those pre-recorded videos that you sent in. I'll be able to use transitions so we can kind of fade in and fade out from one shot to another. I'll be able to play different sound effects and play some music during the stream. So as I've spoken to Tammy about this, using something like Zoom to stream is fun because it's simple and we can just put videos on the screen. With Switcher Studio, there's this little added level of sophistication that you can add in and create using the platform that really is going to make our videos stand out and make people really interested in wanting to continue to watch. And as we get multiple guests into the screen at the same time, you'll notice it becomes even more interesting to have, you know, the host and 3 nonprofits or 4 nonprofits. It really becomes kind of fun to be able to do that, and also to interact with viewers in real time as they're commenting on Facebook. Your appearance on the stream will probably last somewhere between 5 and maybe up to 7 minutes. Plan on being there for the duration of your video. You know, and if we get done right away, then you can leave. But we will want you there 5 minutes before your stream starts. And then I'll probably have the whole group on the screen together. And then we'll just kind of speak to each nonprofit that's there, either in sequence or as a group. We're still working on the exact details of that. I do want to make sure that I leave plenty of time for your questions, and I'm also keeping a close eye on the chat window. So I'm going to start with whatever questions are here in the chat first. And then once we answer those, we'll go in and let you guys unmute yourself. And if you have questions that you want to ask us, whether me or Tammy or Nick, I'm sure that all of us would be happy to answer. So everyone says, good morning, good morning. Hello, good morning, good morning. Isle of Wight Academy, Armed Services. It's so great to see you guys. Thank you all for being here. Kate says, do we still have the opportunity to send you video files? Yes. If you have my email address, you can email me if you did not send in a video. I will do my best to accommodate that. Please try and get that to me as soon as possible. If you send something through the form, that was preferable so that I have all those files already in one place. But if you do still want to send in a video and maybe you just didn't have it ready, I can accommodate that. Just get it to me as quickly as you can and make sure that it is preferably between 30 and 60 seconds. Anything longer than that is just, it's not going to fit in the flow of sort of the interview style approach that we're taking. Where will this stream be broadcast? So the stream will definitely be broadcast at facebook.com/PCF Virginia. We're also working on trying to maybe see if we can get it simulcast to the website as well. So stay tuned for additional information on that, which we'll get that to you via email. But you can definitely plan on watching the streams at facebook.com/PCF Virginia. Kate says, sending now, the video wasn't ready for the form. Okay, no worries. Will you be interviewing us and will we receive the questions in advance? So I will be both producing and hosting the streams on May 11th. The questions that you will get will be pretty standardized and simple. Expect something along the lines of, why is your organization so excited to be participating in Give Local 757? If your video has something interesting that I can play off of and ask you a question about, you can expect that as well. So make sure you've seen the video that you sent in. Pretty good bet, I know, but never want to assume anything. And then the other piece that I will be researching and looking at, in addition to your social media channels, will be that form field where I asked you, what specifically do you want to talk about on this video? So each and every one of you guys had the chance to kind of give me a little bit of context and a bit of information about something special about your nonprofit. And I'm going to do my best to try and ask you about that during this short segment as well. So 5 minutes goes pretty quick. So with those kind of 3 basic questions and maybe a question about the region and about the Giving Day itself, we'll fill up those minutes pretty quickly. So I wouldn't worry too much about not being prepared. Be a pretty basic sort of sequence of questions. If our video is 1:30 seconds, could you just cut it short? I could. I would prefer if you cut it short so that I don't have to. But if you were able to chop that video and then maybe send me a 60-second version, that would be preferable. If you send me 90 seconds, as you guys can probably tell from this Zoom meeting already, Tammy knows this already. I'm a big softie. I'm an accommodating guy. So I'll figure things out, but it would definitely be helpful for me if you're able to send a 60-second version. Is there a Giving Day between now and Give Local 757 that we could watch as a sample of how the live streams flow? Yes, there are multiple Giving Days between now and then, actually. I will be producing Midlands Gives on May 4th. That is the Central Carolina Community Foundation. And I will also be producing Give Local York on May 7th. The slight differences there are that every Giving Day is produced a little bit differently, so it won't be exactly the same style and format. If you want to see a really great example of what this one might look like, I would point you maybe to some of the streams from Roanoke Valley Gives, which is the, what is the name of their?
The link to that, Chris, is actually on the Give Local 757 nonprofit group on Facebook.
Perfect. Awesome. So I did produce, in conjunction with Switcher Studio, a very similar production back in mid-March. So you can actually go back and watch any of those videos on replay. And we'll be following a very similar style to that Giving Day. But you're more than welcome to join us on May 4th and May 7th as well for those other Giving Days that I'll be working with. For the video, we were instructed to send so Tammy, I don't know if you want to touch on this real quick. There were multiple asks of the nonprofits. The form that was representative of this live stream opportunity very specifically said a 30 to 60-second video that would be played during the live stream. And I'm not sure, ASYMCA, if you attached the video or not.
Right. Well, the one that they're speaking of, Ramantra, is for the commercial for Channel 13. They asked each nonprofit or anyone that wanted to submit 2 5-second videos. So that is for the promotion, the commercial. Not everybody made that, of course.
Right. I realized that afterwards. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And I saw that next on my sequence. So I'm sorry, Ramantra, for not being a great reader here. Please disregard the above question. Got it. What is the preferred background? That's a great question as well. I think that, and I talk about this in the YouTube video that was included in the email. That link is titled "How to Be a Great Virtual Live Guest." I would strongly encourage all of you guys to check that out if you get a chance. And if not, maybe someone can put that link, or I can find it in the chat. I talk about the elements that make a great background. Big shout out to Tammy for sending me the step and repeat, by the way. I think this looks fantastic here over my shoulder. But I would, in 30 seconds, I would encourage you to have a background that tells a little bit more of your story. A step and repeat is always a cool idea, but if you have pictures or different products or something that really tells us kind of where you are and gives us a little more context as to what we're seeing, I think that can certainly add value. It's the same thing with wearing the hat. You see, I got the fancy custom Give Local 757 hat, my Switcher Studio shirt. So everything that you see on my screen is telling you part of my story. And I think, even just wearing a shirt or a hat with your logo on it can go a long way to effectively telling your story on video. Hold on, I want to make sure I'm not missing any questions here. I'm sorry. Are we able to have 2 people from our organization, or would you prefer just 1 person on camera? 2 people is fine. 2 people is great. I just would strongly prefer if you could be on the same camera, so be in the same location. And that's going to make it a lot easier for me, as I'm going to be both producing and hosting, to be able to make sure that the video looks right as we're going through and having those conversations. So if you absolutely must have 2 people in 2 separate locations, if it's an absolute must, please just let me know and I can figure out a way to accommodate that for you. But I would prefer if you had 1 camera connected into Switcher Studio. That's going to make things a lot easier for me. Is there an interview announcement template already created that we can use to promote? Not yet, but I'm working on it. As I mentioned, I'm also producing 2 other giving days here in the next couple weeks. But that is my weekend goal. And that is why I kind of asked you guys if you could please finalize that time slot for me by this weekend. What I'm going to be doing is building out some graphics that will help you tell your followers when you're going to be on and where that can be seen. So stay tuned for that, but I don't have that ready quite yet. And Judith, yes, sorry, maybe I did miss your question here. Should we assume that horizontal landscape orientation is better than vertical if using a mobile phone? Yes, you should. And I should have mentioned that while we had Nick on there. You could see that Nick's camera was horizontal and it fit the frame perfectly. The templates that we're using to stream on Switcher Studio are built for that horizontal approach. So even if you join the room when it's vertical and then you turn your phone horizontal, Switcher is going to be able to accommodate that. So if you join the room and you're vertical, you're in the green room before we start, I'm just going to nicely ask you to turn your phone horizontal and we'll figure it out. One question that was not asked that I should touch on, you don't need to join from a phone. You can join from any device that has a camera and a microphone that is connected to the internet. So a mobile phone, a tablet, a laptop with a webcam, or even a desktop computer with a webcam will work great. If you have headphones or earbuds, those are going to really help you hear me a little bit better. And they'll also help enhance the sound. Obviously, if you have a more sophisticated microphone setup, that's great too. So if you have a mic plugged in that you usually do your Zooms or whatever from, that's going to work perfectly as well. Just make sure that you give Switcher permission, and that will work really well. I think that's all the questions in the chat. Does Switcher Studio support green screen? Not yet would be the way that I answer that. And if Nick has anything to add on that, I'll let him jump in. But as of now, no, Switcher Studio does not support green screen. So you won't be able to use like a virtual background. You'll want to have like a real life background of some kind, whether you go to your nonprofit or, Ramantra, your video looks fine, so I wouldn't worry about it at all. Other questions? I see some people nodding. Danielle, I see nodding. Laura's been pretty quiet. Debbie is smiling. I see Debbie smiling there. Judith is smiling. Smiling faces are good. Janelle is smiling. That's right. Autism Society Tidewater. I don't know your name, but she's waving. Allison. See that, Nick? Smiling faces are a good sign. That means I think I answered most people's questions. It's Nicole Miller. All right, Nicole, it's nice to meet you. And just a reminder, Nicole, when you do join that live broadcast, if you could put in your name, Nicole, there, that'll just make it a little bit easier for me, as I'll be speaking with lots of people that I'm meeting for the first time. Questions? Joan, any questions? I like Joan's background there. She's got like maybe that's a virtual background. I don't know. No, it's a real kind of bay window there. That's nice. And Chris has got kind of like the big wicker chair there behind her. That's good. I like that too.
And the Autism Society.
That's definitely a virtual background. There's no question about that. I got that one. Sam, any questions? Crystal, Julie, Lisa, Social Butterflies. She doesn't have her name on there either, but she's smiling too in the car. Michelle. And a lot of you guys don't have your camera on, but I can still shout you out. Chandra, Ariel, Margot, Robin. Jody is listening from Wyoming. So good morning, Jody. Thanks for waking up early. Wyoming is another giving day that I'll be working with. So I do want to, and Chastity. Hello, Chastity. And Kate says she's also in Wyoming. Hello. Would you recommend against having live action in the background? We are a performing arts studio and thought about doing it with a class in the background. I would not recommend recommend against having live action. I think live action is awesome. And quite frankly, any sort of activity or anything that you want to do, I talk about this in the YouTube video as well. If there's something that you want to show, if there's some sort of food that you have, if there's something that you want me to do within the confines of my tiny little studio here, I've done yoga in my apartment. Teach me a dance move, anything that we're actually sort of interacting and doing something, I'm all for it. So think about creatively, if there's something realistically that you want to demonstrate or you want to show, that's totally cool. If that's going to require us to go a few minutes over 5 minutes, I think that's fine also. Again, we're not limited by sort of the same confines of like a television show where we're sort of like up against it. So if there's something that you want to show, let's do it. Just make sure that you make that clear. I think I missed the email about the 30 to 60 second video and Google form request. Well, if you're here, it's likely that you didn't, because everyone who's here is here because you filled out the form. We did not receive that either. Me too. So the form that you filled out to participate in the stream had a field on it where you could submit a video from 30 to 60 seconds. Many of you did, some of you didn't. If you did not, you have my email address and you can send me like a Google Drive link or something. Or even if you send me a YouTube link, what I'll end up doing is probably just screen recording it so that I can save it as easily as possible. So just keep in touch with me if you need to get me a video. Also, again, it's appreciated the sooner the better so that I can sort of get everything in order. The email schedule looked like there was only one nonprofit per time slot, but you mentioned something about multiple nonprofits at the screen at one time. Could you please clarify? So let me show you kind of what we're looking at here. Here's the schedule. So you'll notice here at 7 a.m., there are 4 nonprofits that are going to be on at 7 a.m. So at 6:55, with my cup of coffee. Ooh, I have the Give Local. Look at this. Tammy sent me a coffee cup too. How cool is that? So I'll have my little coffee cup, even though I don't drink coffee. So there will be 4 nonprofits joining in the room together at 6:55, and then at 7:55, and then at 8:55. I will use Switcher Studio to introduce everybody to bring you on together. Imagine like a cable news kind of setup where your heads are all going to be next to each other. And then we'll kind of talk kind of in sequence. What I was saying before about having one person or one camera is that, for example, Thrive Peninsula, you will join the stream using one camera. So that's what I was saying about one sort of person or one camera per nonprofit. Switcher does or does not support virtual backgrounds? Does not support virtual backgrounds. Can it be a ripple video? I don't know what a ripple video is, but if it's a video that you can send me, even if we can't support it directly in Switcher, I'll screen record it and I'll get it in there. I don't know what a ripple video is.
So Chris, I think even I was going to ask you to clarify this. So would you be asking all 4 nonprofits questions at the same time, or will you do one nonprofit at a time?
I think all the nonprofits in the group should be prepared to answer questions, and everyone will be on sort of simultaneously. I've done this both ways, where we just kind of go one to the next, to the next, to the next, and then having the group on and maybe kind of throwing a question at each person. I think we're probably, long story short, going to end up doing it both ways. So we're just going to kind of play it by ear and see what's working and go with it. For something like the dance troupe that's messaging me, we'll make sure that you're on screen on your own. I may save you guys for last in the hour so that we don't have to cut you off. But be prepared for either way, I think is a good way to put it. And we'll figure out what is looking the best and sounding the best and working the best.
Chris,
Yes.
I'm here. Can
Hi.
you hear me?
I can,
Okay.
yes.
All right, listen, I know that you're reading names off of the screen, okay? And mine says David Niski. Okay, I'm not male. I'm a Catholic sister.
I
But
gotcha.
when they put if you're counting on that, my name is Sister David Ann.
Okay.
Okay?
Gotcha.
So that
So-
you don't call me David.
I got you, sister.
Ann.
Sister David Ann, I promise you I will remember that.
Good.
So, and also when you join the Switcher room, you'll be able to just type this in. So
Right.
we are up against time here. I think that the Zoom room is going to cut us off here momentarily. So I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys for being here. If you have additional questions, you can email me and or Tammy. Thank you again to Nick from Switcher for taking the time to join us as well. And I really look forward to seeing all of you guys at Give Local 757 on May 11th. So with that, I will see you guys. See you soon. And Tammy,
Okay,
we'll chat.
thank you.
Tammy, if you want to call me, we can chat now if you want.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
soon.
you.
We'll
Thanks,
see ya.
Nick.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
We'll see you.
See you later. Bye-bye. Thanks everybody for watching. If you watched on replay, thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you all at Give Local 757. If you have more questions, you can always email me or find me on social media at Chris Strub, and I'll see you soon.